Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Jared, and this is Speak Now 3 from GBS English. We're talking about Review 3. Now, we're talking about doing your errands. Now, your errands can be any jobs that you have to do and do them any day. Now, sometimes errands can be a lot of fun where you're going and working and doing things. Some days you can be really, really busy with errands. The idea is get your errands done so that you can go on and have more fun. So let's talk about our errands today, and we'll look at a couple of our favorite friends, Maria and Jill, as they're traveling to New York. So let's get started. Today, we're going to start with a weekly puzzle. We got the three-letter puzzle. Then we're going to do workbook review 3, do the workbook, and wrap it up. Today, with our weekly puzzle. Now, our weekly puzzle. This one is a little bit tricky because I want you to spell as many three-letter words as you can for body parts. Now, you can repeat the letters. For example, I, E-Y-E. That's a three-letter word. It's only using three letters, but you spell a word. You can also go like ear, E-A-R. Now, I want you to think how many three-letter words you can use to describe parts of a body. Now, I have a list of about 24 words. It's not extensive, but there could be more. So go and make as many words as you can. Objection! Why do you object? Three-letter words for body parts. Make them as many as you can and then bring them to class. Because
Denied.
Why denied? Objection! Don't object. Put down as many words as you can and bring them to class. Now, because you're going to be going on membership training this week, you're not going to need to bring them to class this week. Bring them to class next week where we can talk about them then. All right, as we go on now, we're going to talk about super stressed. Oh my God, I'm so stressed out. I don't know what to do. This is something that happens to many of us. Some people deal with their stress by ignoring it. Some people, they become physically ill because of stress. This is something that happens. You just have to be careful and aware of it. So we're going to listen to Maria and Jill. They want to go do something exciting and they want to see some things in New York City. When you go travel to a city, it's a good idea to have some destinations, some ideas of things you want to do, and then go and have some fun with it. So let's listen to their video and figure out what they're going to do.
We have some time before we meet Eric and Tom.
We should walk around and go shopping.
I want to do my hair, too.
That sounds fun. Where should we begin?
Let's ask the hotel clerk. I'm sure she can recommend places to visit.
Hi, ma'am. Good morning.
We want to look around. Can you tell us where we should go?
Sure. I have pictures I can show you, too. One thing you should do is walk around Central Park. It's in the heart of the city. You can get a cool view of the city.
That's a great idea. Do you know of any good places to eat?
The East Village is great. You can get Indian food, Japanese food, just about everything.
Can you tell us if it's expensive?
It's cheap compared to the rest of the city. Oh, and another thing you should do is go to Times Square. It's beautiful at night.
What about shopping?
Oh, go to Soho. It can be crowded, but there are tons of shops in that area.
Wow. Is there also a place where I can get a cool hairstyle?
I know a guy who does fabulous hairstyles. Here's his business card.
I'm afraid you gave me a room key.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Here it is. Have fun, ladies.
They should be here soon.
Wait, I think that's them.
Hi, guys. I had such a great time today.
Hi, Jill. Where's Maria?
She should be here soon. I think that's her.
That's definitely not Maria. Nice, day, huh? Yeah.
Did you guys notice?
Notice what?
My hair. It's the coolest hairstyle I've ever had. So New York.
It's definitely fabulous.
You guys should totally go to Daniel LaButte's salon too.
Oh, and we're late. Let's go.
I am not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about that hairstyle. You may think it's fashionable, you may think it's fabulous, but I would just say,
No, God!
well, yeah, that's definitely,
No, God, please, no!
yeah, that's
No!
definitely what I would say.
No!
I would definitely say it's not something that I would ever pay for. And anyway, let's move along. Moving on. Now, when we go on, go back, look at the video again. What do they say as far as that? What does the hotel clerk say that you should do in these different places? What can they do to compare them? And to have fun while they're in New York City. Then, what do you recommend to people when they come to visit your hometown? They come to visit you. What are the suggestions you make? What's special about where you live? And don't say, oh, teacher, there is nothing special where I live.
Objection!
But teacher, there is nothing here.
Objection!
There's always something. Even if it's just going to the downtown library, always something to do. Then, second part, have you ever traveled with a friend? Where did you go? I've had both good experiences and bad experiences of traveling with friends. The good experiences, I've traveled with my wife through Jeju, and we had a good time. Not a great time, but we had a good time in Jeju. Bad experiences, I traveled with a couple of friends of mine to Taiwan. I only knew one of the people when we left. When we came back, I have not talked to any of them ever since. It just was not an enjoyable experience. If you want to know the story, I'll be glad to tell you one-on-one, but it's just not a story that I want to remember. Bad things happened on both sides, and I'm just not interested in that story. Anyway, moving on. Who gets your hair cut? Who cuts your hair and does the things to style yourself? Would you recommend them? And have you ever tried something different? I highly recommend while you're in college, before you do your military service or after your military service, for gentlemen, try something different. Try a different hairstyle, a different hair color. You never know. It can change your life for a little while. But before you just start saying, oh, I got to go spend lots of money on hairstyles, go look at hair wax first. It's something that cosplayers use to dye and change their hair, where they have to change their hair for the weekend and then they change their hair color back on Monday. It's not really changing their hair. It's just the wax in their hair. It's a good way to do it. If you have a very light color hair, if you want to try it, you get a very light color high dye job where your hair is either white or blonde, and then the colors come out really well. But that's up to you. Now, we move along and we're going to talk about the different units. First one, do you know? Asking about your hometown and the things that are around you. We want to know about what's special where you are. There are always special things around your hometown, and you should be proud of where you are. And if you don't know anything in your hometown, you can always go to someplace close to your town. My mistake. Now, mistakes happen. When you go out, you do things, when you work, yeah, mistakes are going to happen. All you can do is make your best to move on, fix the problem, and go ahead. Then we talked about can I please, asking for preferences and suggestions. Can I please get a professional photo, or I want to make an appointment. Can I get an appointment to go here? Those are things that are important to be able to do. Make your appointments, make a schedule, keep yourself on time. And last, we talked about being broke. Now, being broke's not a bad thing, but it's always better to have some money. So what can you do to save money? What can you do to fix your problems? All right. Now, everybody's favorite part, working on the workbook. Now, the first one, you're going to be able to see this dialogue. This is the exact dialogue. Go back in the video, watch the video again, and fill in the missing words from Maria, Jill, and the desk clerk, Pam. And then what happens when Eric and Tom show up. Then we talk about relative clauses. Now, a relative clause, also called an adjective clause, modifies a noun. They are dependent clauses, which means they are not a complete sentence. The suggestion that, dependent clause, the hotel clerk gave Jill and Maria. If we take out the hotel clerk gave Jill and Maria, gave them what? It's not a complete sentence. It just helps clarify what the suggestions were. We could read the sentence, the suggestions were helpful. What suggestions? The ones that the hotel clerk made. That's where it's relative. It's important to clarify what we're talking about. We can take the relative clause out. Usually, it still makes a good sentence, but the relative clause helps us to make the sentence better. So it tells us who, refers to people. Casey is the one who went to Australia. That can describe people or things. The woman that works at the front desk. No one likes the haircut that Maria got. It talks about a thing or people. Whose is possessive. Tom is the guy whose favorite meal is pasta. Oh yeah, he loves pasta. And where, describing a location. So these are all things that relative clauses can help us to identify. Look here and try to find the right word to finish the sentence. Be careful, some of them are a little bit tricky, and you may say, well, it could be either one. No, there's one and only one correct answer for each of these sentences. All right, so today we talked about your weekly puzzle. We talked about 3 letters. Remember, you want to make 3-letter body parts. Eye, ear. I'm not going to give any hints as to other words that you might be able to come up with. You might go looking for some words that are 3 letters, but I'm not going to give you any hints on those words. And bring those to class next week. We talked about the workbook and the student book and the review. We watched the video, go back and enjoy it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much. You have done a great job. It's time for me to say goodbye. Have a good time, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.